This call is now being recorded. All right, thank you. So these are the objective at the end of this course. You'll be able to understand different sources to get data from. You know how to clean and transform data using Power Query. You understand data modeling and cardinality. You work with data visualization, both basic and custom. You explore Power BI service, and then you gain introductory knowledge into Microsoft Fabric if time permits. And we expect that your project work you'll be able to display it on LinkedIn and then share with people. So let them know that this is what you've studied and this is the information that you've gotten now. So benchmark score for getting our certificate. Attendance is 10 points. Class interactivity is 10 points. Assignment is 10 points. Assessment is 10 points. Project work is 30 points. And your 30 minutes daily submission is 30 points. And the benchmark score for getting a certificate is 75 points. So we'll be grading you, and anyone that falls below 75 points, I'm very sorry, you won't be getting our certificate, right? And it's for good reason, both for us and for you, right? Because we don't want people representing us out there and then they ask you basic questions. You say you learned Power BI, they ask you basic questions and you can't deliver. And when you say, well, this is where you learned from, is not a good one for us. So we are very careful of what we do here and the people that we put out there to represent us as students. So learning and accountability, it is mandatory for every student to study Power BI for 30 minutes. So we understand that everybody has busy schedules. From Monday to Saturday, you have family, you have work, you have other volunteering opportunities that you're doing. Like different things are taking your time, right? But then we are saying that in all of your busy schedule, just craft out 30 minutes, right? Just to learn. And it's very important, right? This is a major criteria for getting the Power BI certificate at the end of your study because we'll be checking. And this 30-minute study it's not just for us, but it's more for you, right? It's going to help you solidify whatever knowledge that you've learned. If all we do is come every Sunday, then on Monday to Saturday, nobody is checking anything. By the time you are coming next Sunday, you've forgotten all that you've learned. So your 30-minute daily summary is to ensure that it's just like a little drop of water. Today you put a little, tomorrow you had another little, next tomorrow. Before you know it, just give it time, right? Whatever container you are pouring the water into will soon get to the brim. And that's what we believe in, like little effort. So 30 minutes every day is very important. I will show you the platform where you'll be learning from, and then I'll walk you through how that would work too. And also, so when you do your learning, you have to post a summary of your daily learning in the group, right? So we are also checking that. So if you tell me you've learned, the only way I can know that you have learned is when you send me a summary. I'll say, oh, okay, based on your summary, indeed you have opened this file and you have learned. Because anybody can say they've learned anything. At the end of the day, they've not learned anything. So it's very important that you post your summary. We will be checking. And the summary has to come in before 11 p.m. at night. Right. So you have the whole day. It could be any time of the day. You can decide to study at midnight. You can decide to study in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, whatever time that works for you. But the main criteria is before 11 p.m. at night, you should have sent in your daily summary, depending on wherever you are, depending on wherever country you are joining from, right? Ensure that 11 p.m. before 11 p.m. for in a particular day, you sent in your daily summary. And like Francisca said, a mentor will be assigned to you. So we check your email. Some of you have Victoria as your mentor. Some of you have Esther as your mentor. I'm very sure that Esther is still on this call, right? So please check. Their contacts are also there, and then they are also in the group too. So you can always reach out to your mentor if you have any. Maybe you have like some office tasks you're working on in Power BI, and then you get to a place where you really don't understand what to do. You can just quickly chat to your mentor and say, oh, please, I'm struggling with this particular thing. Can you help me? Can we look at it together? And then you guys can schedule a call that is flexible, that is feasible for both of you, right, to discuss that. So this is what we'll be learning: introduction to Power BI, right? Why to use Power BI, look at the quick. Okay, 10 p.m. for no, I mean even 11 p.m. South African time. Do you understand? I'm saying based on the time this thing that you are, based on the what's the word now? the time difference, right? Just ensure that before 11 p.m. your time, you have sent it. Do you understand? Yes. So we are looking at introduction to Power BI, a quick tour, interface, overview. We'll look at extract, load, and transform data. We'll look at data modeling. We'll look at DAX for data analysis expression. We'll look at data visualization. And then, other interesting things also. So we have your facilitator here, right? Mr. Eldeji will not be facilitating this cohort. We have another amazing person who will be facilitating, the person of Mr. Emmanuel Bassi, and you get to meet him next week. Mr. Emmanuel Bassi is a Microsoft certified trainer for Power BI, and he's really skilled. He's one of the guy growing the tech industry in Uyo and in Calabar, and he has worked on a several projects. He's currently leading the Guru Hub in Calabar. I know he has trained a lot of secondary school girls who are doing amazing things. They were showing them on TV one time, interviewing those girls that Mr. Emmanuel Basia has trained, and then like the things those girls have done, like they're amazing, amazing, amazing. And the beautiful part is also the mentor for your mentor. So it's the same person that mentored both Victoria and Esther, right? So you're having this powerful and amazing man joining us next week. He's currently busy today, so that's why I can't make it. But next week Sunday, Mr. Emmanuel will be the person who will be guiding you. Like, he's so skilled. I really can't wait for you to experience him. Trust me, like, you would love Power BI if you sit under Mr. Emmanuel's teaching. And even aside that, I think we are currently speakers on this analytics mentorship program. And the beautiful part is I am a forerunner for him in Power BI. So I am forerunning for Emmanuel. Like the guy is really so good. When it comes to Power BI, that is his number one. He's really skilled and he does it so like effortlessly, right? I'm really glad to have him part of our community. Really glad that he's here, to mentor and teach you and, help you experience Power BI in a way that is exciting. So quickly, I'll go to the platform for our 30 minutes daily learning, right? We have our Udemy platform, which I'm currently showing you right now. I will give you the login details in the group tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. So when you log in, this is the interface that you find. Then you come to my learning. My learning towards the far right. Is it far right? Yes. You see my learning. Once you click on my learning, we have the course already bought. Then you start with Microsoft Power BI Desktop for Business Intelligence. This particular course with these two guys here. Microsoft Power BI for Business Intelligence. Once we have other courses for other code, you don't have to bother yourself. Don't do overdo. So I know some people, you want to be doing Power BI and then do SQL, and then please let's maintain our focus. Let's focus our focus. Our focus is on Power BI, so let's do that. So these are all the curriculums that will be covering during your 30 minutes daily learning, and we've broken it down in a way that it is easier for you to learn for 30 minutes every day, right? So just follow our guide. If we tell you today read only section 1, please do only section 1. Don't try and do section 1 and 2. And the reason why is we don't want it to get so ambiguous, because when things get too ambiguous, it gets so overwhelming. And from getting overwhelmed, you just start, it's just you just dump it at the end of the day. Can I centralize the screen? I'm seeing something. Are you joining with your phone, Chisom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so let me just pin it for you. Hold on, let me try and pin my um where is the screen? I can't even see pin. Oh. I can't find that pin. Hold on. How can I pin this? Okay, hold on. Uh I can't find pin on my laptop, but I can see it on my phone. Okay, let me stop presenting. Then let me start presenting again. All right. Okay. I get it's pinned now. Is it fine now? Is it pinned? Yes, it's pinned.
Yes, please.
All right, yeah. So, like I was saying, if we tell you learn from here to here, please just follow our guide, right? It's very important that you follow our guide. If you're trying to overdo, you might get so overwhelming, and then you dump it, you know, eventually. So you do little by little by little before you know it. By the end of the 6 weeks, you've covered the whole course, and you won't even know that you've really covered so much like that, right? If you look at section 3, it's about 3 hours. Don't try to do it as a full stretch. This is another 3 hours, another 4 hours. Please just follow our guide, right? Follow our guide. And then this Malvin Analytics course, these are one of the also the top guys, teaching Power BI out there. And their course is really what you need, to really scale through Power BI. Even those that want to do the PO 300 certification exam, like this is the course that you need to take aside reading the Power BI documentation from Power BI. But this course is also a fantastic one to help you get yourself grounded in Power BI. And even after the course class is over, you still have access to our Udemy platform, right? And reason being that there are actually two courses, right? But this is the one that we are focusing on in class. The second course by these guys that we bought, that one is only focused on a section of Power BI, which is called the DAX, right? That's where that DAX is more or less like formulas, the way you do formulas in Excel. Let me show you that one. Okay, so this is Microsoft Power BI Dex Advanced DAX for data analysis. This is their second course that we've also bought, right? And this one just focus on the formula aspect of Power BI. Like you want to go deeper into using some X, max X, using calculate filter, all except and bringing all of those things together in a way that is powerful, right? Writing crazy formulas in Power BI, crazy DAX expressions. Yeah, this is the one for it. But for the whole course, right, that covers everything from DAX to modeling to cleaning and all of that, we are focusing on the Power BI desktop for business intelligence. This other one is an added course that after the class, right, you can just take it at your own pace just to sharpen your formula skills in Power BI. Let me use that word, right, to sharpen your DAX knowledge, in Power BI. But this is the main course that we are focusing on. I would like to ask, is there any question before we move on? Is there any question? Is there any question?
I'm just curious. So when will the lady send the brochure to our email?
It's Francisca, and it's going to be tomorrow.
All right.
Is there any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? Okay, I'm seeing no question for now. No question for now. Any question? All right. So today, Esther, is our quiz ready? Yes. Daily learning is from Monday to Fridays. Saturdays we'll be having quiz, right? The goal of the quiz is to test our knowledge in Power BI. And on Sunday, when we come to class, after the basic introduction, we will have our quiz. After our quiz, then we'll go into the lecture for the day. And the goal of the quiz is to ensure that whatever knowledge that we're getting, they are actually staying, right? So today we are having our first quiz. I don't know if Esther or Francisca is ready to drop the quiz link so that we can have the quiz and then go into the class for today. Thank you. Quiz, please. Who's in charge of the quiz?
Okay, I think it's Victoria that was supposed to send the quiz, and I've not been able to reach her. So I think they will just get it tomorrow or later today.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Please give me a minute. Let me check. But I didn't want to reach Victoria actually. I hope all is well.
I hope she's fine too. I've been trying to reach her, but her number is switched off, which I don't know why. And then after that, it was telling me number cannot be reachable.
Wow. Wow. I don't hope that all is well. Well, yeah. So I guess you guys they will have to contact Victoria, and then you get the quiz in the group later today. So today I'll be walking us through introduction to Power BI, the overview, and everything that we need to get us started. Just kind of like I said, doing a forerunner job for Mr. Emmanuel while he comes in and then take over for me. So I'll be sharing my screen quickly, and I'll be showing you some reports in Power BI. And from there, we will move on to the Power BI interface and then look at how it looks like, do a walk view, a quick overview of everything that you need to know, and we would end today's class. So I'm sharing my screen one more time. Sorry, before I do that, we've not introduced ourselves. So please, can we do a quick introduction, right? I think I've introduced myself. My name is Iremidi Olatunji. I'm a data analyst. Francisca also introduced herself. I don't know if Esther can introduce herself, then the students can, take turns introducing themselves so that we can get to know ourselves and our, level of knowledge, and we can know how to take it off from there. Thank you very much. So Esther, you can please introduce yourself.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ndukwe Esther, and I am also a data analyst. And I'm excited for this 6 weeks journey that we are going to that has started today. So I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you. All right,
Next
that's
question.
it for me.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, that's it from me. I think one of the students can introduce themselves.
We did not hear you, Ndukwe.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I said my name is Ndukwe Esther, and I am also a data analyst. And I am excited for this 6 weeks journey that we've started today, that has started today. And I look forward to what we are going to achieve together within these 6 weeks. So thank you.
Thank you. She's also a mentor. If you know you have Ndukwe Esther, she's the one. Hold her.
All right, so who is going next? Or Esther, can you appoint someone to go next since nobody wants to go next? So when you introduce yourself, you pick the next person.
Okay, I think we should hear from Chisom.
Hi everyone. So I think initially it was supposed to be Ndukwe and then Iyanu and Onogopose. But it's alright. So my name is Chisom and I work in HR at the moment. So more like a generalist. So I decided to take up this course to just have a fair idea of what Power BI is all about and then see how I can help provide more better insights for the company that I work for now. Thank you.
Um,
Chisom, can you select somebody to go next?
Iyanu, you're next.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adele Yanu. I will call myself a budding data analyst. I'm happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to gain more knowledge from everyone. Thank you.
Can I point to the next person?
Okay, I think I'll appoint John. John, can we go? John Ayola. Then after
Good
John, we'll
afternoon,
have
ma'am.
Obi.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Arujon Ayala. Um, I'm excited for this intensive Power BI training, and I'm an upcoming data analyst. I'm a fresh graduate. I'm a statistician. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John. Can we have Obi? Obi, is your mic working now? Do you want to test it? Or do you want to send it to the comment section? Okay, I guess Obi is having this thing. Okay, Obi, you know what? I really love to hear your voice, right? Can you just join with your phone? Can you hear me? Can you join with your phone? Like click the link on your phone and join. And let's see if we'll be able to hear you. If you can hear me, Obi. Obi, if you can hear me, can I get a thumbs up so I can know that you heard what I said? All right, okay. So we're waiting for you to join with your phone. Just go to the WhatsApp group, click on the link, and then join with your phone. Just for us to hear you. That's all. Then you can continue with you. You can even join with your phone and your laptop. Guys, please let's give Obi a little time. Obi, do you have any challenge? Okay, I guess he's trying to join with her phone now. Let's give her a minute. All right, okay. You're muted. Great, I can hear you. Not anymore. It was doing like I can't hear anything. I can see your mouth moving, but there's no sound. Are you joining with your laptop or your phone? Your phone. Both. Okay, I think you left on one. I think this is your laptop. Your laptop is what is on the call. Your phone is not on the call. Your phone is not connected yet. I can see that you're talking, but then there's no sound. Okay, yeah, I can see your other device has joined. Your other device is muted, so you want to unmute that one and speak. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you. So your other device, can you um turn on the mic? Okay, show me your phone screen. I can see you from your laptop, right? Show me your phone, click on unmute and speak. Okay, I can see you on your phone, but I still can't hear you. Wow. Okay, that's fine. I guess we'll just try and sort this out before the next class. Right. Don't worry, you do your introduction next week. We'll try and sort this out before the next class. So sorry about. All right, okay. Okay, it's fine. Yes. You can just type it and we'll read it out. So while OB is I really can't pronounce the name also. So I'll just go with OB. you know. But I'm really interested in pronunciation. I am so interested in it. But it's okay. We'll wait till next week. It's actually what the suspense. All right, so I'm waiting for OB's introduction. I'll just share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Yes, ma.
All right. So we have three types of Power BI, right? Power BI is a tool by Microsoft. I call it an upgrade of Microsoft Excel, right? Because you can do with Power BI a lot more than you can do in Excel, right? When it comes to data visualization, when it comes to writing formulas, when it comes to interacting with one or more sources of data, Power BI is your go-to device, right? And not even Microsoft Excel do it to a level, but Microsoft Excel in a way is limited, right? In Microsoft Excel, you are limited by 1 million rows. So it means that in Microsoft Excel, whatever you put in a particular workbook, in a particular sheet, once it reaches 1 million rows, Excel will tell you, I'm sorry, I can no longer take more data in me. If I try to take any more data in me, I am likely to crash, right? So once you reach 1 million rows, you can't really do anything again. You have to now like break your data into another sheet. And then when you reach another 1 million rows, you have the same issue. And then if you're working with big organization that have millions of rows, they have about 5 million, 10 million, thousands and thousands and thousands of data flowing in every day. You see that you are going to soon have a problem if you're doing your analysis in Microsoft Excel. So Power BI handles that issue for us seamlessly, right? Power BI takes in a lot of data from different sources, right? From different sources. And you see, because of an engine in Power BI called Power Query, you can do a lot of phenomenal things when it comes to transforming data. And because of how powerful Power Query is to Power BI, Microsoft now have to upgrade Excel in a way that Excel can also accommodate Power Query. All right, let me read Obi's introduction. My name is Obi. I use initial because the name is long. I am in South Africa. The O of the name simply means God remembered me. Wow. I'll make a voice note for you even for the pronoun. Okay, great, great, great. I'm a mining engineer by profession with 12 years experience in the mining industry. but currently in a career transition phase as I want to be a data analyst. That's great. Thank you very much, Obi, for that. And then you're welcome to Data Analytics Elite. All right, like I was saying, because of how powerful Power Query is for Power BI, how it was, it's able to take in data from different sources, how you can do transformation, you can clean data in very simple step. Microsoft now have to upgrade the Excel to also accommodate Power Query. Initially in Excel, if you were using Excel about 10 years ago, 8 years ago, there is no function for you to get data from different sources, right? Whatever you're doing on Excel, you have to literally type it in Excel and then use it in Excel. Do you understand? But right now we have different functionalities, being brought into Excel. Microsoft are doing a very phenomenal job upgrading, now Excel to work with the Power Query functionalities. Even with Power Query functionality in Excel, the limitation of Excel with 1 million rows still remains. It cannot extend beyond that, right? So Power BI has 3 types, or will I say 3 phases, right? We have Power BI as a service. We have Power BI mobile app as an application on your phone. And we have the Power BI desktop. I'll mention that again. We have Power BI service, Power BI mobile app, and then Power BI as a desktop, Power BI desktop. There are 3 types of Power BI interface that you have. So it means that you can view Power BI on the go with your phone. You can view Power BI over the internet. That's the Power BI service. And also you can work with Power BI on premise, that is on your laptop. When it comes to Power BI desktop, this particular Power BI desktop, you can download it on your Microsoft Store, right? The Microsoft store on your laptop. Just go there and type Power BI. Let me show you that very quickly. Let me go to my store. I'm using my Windows this thing right now. So my store, this is my Microsoft Store on my laptop, just like your Google Play Store, App Play Store. You have Microsoft Store on your laptop if you are using a Windows laptop. If you are using a MacBook, I think you need to download like a third-party tool in order to get Power BI, because Apple and Microsoft do not really gel like that. So if you want Power BI on your Apple device, there's a longer route to getting it, but it is achievable. It's not like it's not achievable. But if you're all using Windows, just go to your Microsoft Store and then just type in Power BI. Once you search for Power BI, all of these things comes up. I'm not seeing Power BI, so I'll just do, okay, I have it here. Power BI desktop. And you can see it is what? For me, it is installed. Let me click on this. So this is you can see it is there. Power BI what? Desktop. Like I said, there are 3 types of Power BI. Power BI desktop, this one is on-premise. On-premise means that it is on my laptop, right? Whatever I do on this Power BI desktop on my laptop, the only way Francisca or Chisom or Iyanu can see it is when they come to my laptop. Except I give them my laptop, they can't have access to whatever it is I have done on this Power BI desktop, because whatever I'm building is on my laptop. So unless I give you my laptop, you cannot access anything. You cannot see it. You can't interact with it. Now, the second type of Power BI, like mine is installed already, so I can just click on open to open it. The second type of Power BI is, like I said, is over the internet. It's called the Power BI service. So let me just go here and click on Power BI service, right? It's now Microsoft Fabric, but we'll leave it as Power BI service. So this is a powerbi.com, and this one I'm on my browser, right? So this is Power BI as a service, Power BI service. So once I click on this, it opens for me. Actually, it opens this for me, right? Because it will ask me to sign in and all of that. So you need like an account to sign into that version of the Power BI service. you need to have like a Power BI, a Microsoft account, whether a free version or a paid version, whichever one that you are working with. But we have our version already, and this is Power BI as a service. This means that if Francisca wants to have access to this, whatever report that I have built here, right? What happens is, even if I send the link to Francisca, she can't really have access, right? Until I add her to my Azure directory. Like what do I mean by directory? Is let me say a folder, or let me say I'm looking for the right word to say, like a WhatsApp group, right? If you were not added to the Power BI WhatsApp group, you will not have information about anything going on in the Power BI group, right? You notice that when some of you try to join, it asks you to wait for admin to permit you. Can you guys hear me? Are we on the same page? Are we tracking?
Yes.
All right. Another person. All right, great. So when you're trying to join the Power, it asks you for admin, wait for admin to let you in before you can come in. So even if maybe by mistake you have the link, you still cannot access whatever information that is here unless you are being added to that WhatsApp group. Do you actually understand? So unless I add you, so let me show you. I want to show you this report, right, that we've built on Power BI service. And let me just click on one. These like DELite report that I'm kind of like showing with you. I don't want to share one of the reports with you. So these are like several reports that we've built already. It says kindly zoom out your screen. Okay, I should increase it or decrease it. Which one do you want me to do? Is it okay like this? Is it okay like this? All right. So this is a report. All right. Is it okay? Is it okay, Yano? Please let me know if it's okay.
Yeah, it is better now. It's okay now. Thank you.
So this is a report that we built for DAELite, right? Our soft skill report is on Power BI service. If I share you this link, you can't have access. It will ask you for it will ask you to sign in. And if you don't have the right details to sign in, you can't have access to this. Because when we talk about Power BI, we have to look at security. Right now, anything over the internet, we have to start looking at security. Security has to be a very big concern for us, right? So honestly, a concern for Power BI. So even if we share this link with you, you can have access to this report because you are not part of our WhatsApp group. You are not part of our directory. You are not part of our organization groups. Do you understand? So every organization using Power BI has also that kind of security. So even if by mistake the link gets out, you still can access or hack into whatever is being done if you do not have the email address and the right password for you to come into this organization and then see this report. Those that have access, they have the email address to log in with and then the password to log in with. So this is Power BI as a service I'm displaying with you because this is on the internet. So if I want to share this with Francisca, she is in our organization, I want to share it with Esther or Victoria or anybody in my organization, they have the organization access already. I can just come here and then share with them, right? I can share with them, and then when you ask them to log in, they will log in with their organization access and they will be able to see this report because they are in our organization group. Then the third type of Power BI is the one on the mobile app. If you go to your Google Play Store, you will see Power BI there as an app, right? When you download that on your phone, right, what you will see are just like you can see the same report on the go, right? And then I can decide to maybe from all of this reports, right, pick some important information that you need to be tracking on every day. And I can pull this together in a dashboard using different kind of tiles, right? So each of these things are called tiles. You will learn the right word as we go on with the class. So I can pick up the right. Yes. Francisca,
I'm enjoying this class with you. Okay, Victoria is here, but
Oh.
I think it's just go. Oh, Victoria is
Victoria,
here.
how are you?
Victoria, just say hello. She faced a lot. She went through a lot just to be here, which I understand.
Hello, good
Wow.
afternoon.
And good afternoon.
First of
And
all,
of
happy
course,
Sunday to
our prof.
everybody.
Our prof is already doing the work already. So, the goal is on your court.
Yeah, don't worry. I will let me just round up with the types, and I'll hand over to Victoria. All right. So as I was saying, there's
Noted.
also the one on the mobile app, right? Where you have to view. I can put all of this report together, like pick from wait list, pick from build data project, student feedback, pick everything here and there, and then put them together in another dashboard so that on the go, wherever you are, you can have real-time information as to different reports being put together. Do you understand? That's like on the go. That's the one on the phone, on the mobile app, right? So don't forget the three types of Power BI. If you're writing the PL theory exam, you always get tested in this. They will ask you to know what are the three types of Power BI to be sure that you are familiar with, with the types of Power BI. So we're opening our Power BI as a desktop earlier, right? And this is the interface that you will have if you download Power BI. If you download Power BI, I already showed you how to download it. Go to your Microsoft Store, just search for Power BI, and then just install it, and then you have it automatically, right? So Victoria, you can pick it up from here. Thank you very much, guys.
Just
Mic check,
keep
Victoria.
on. She's setting up, right?
Okay, she's still setting
Just
up.
keep on. She's setting up. Yes.
All right, okay.
So once she's ready, she'll let us know. So just continue.
All right, that's fine. Sorry, I'm a bit down. I'm a bit healed, actually. I'm really managing myself to be here. All right. So moving on to Power BI Desktop. This is where we all start building from. When it comes to building in Power BI, this is where it starts from, right? From the Power BI Desktop. When you build on Power, like I said, the three of Power BI will always come up every now and then, right? When you do the real building is on your Power BI Desktop. Sorry, please give me a minute. All right, sorry, please. So the real building happens on Power BI. This is where we build all our reports, do all of the DAX, the cleaning and everything. And I'm walking you through all of this information while Victoria comes in and takes back. Just have ribbons in Excel, right? We have these ribbons too here in Power BI. Sorry. Okay. We have these ribbons too here in Power BI, right? Just like where we have it in Excel. If I click on File, you'll see here Home. You see Open. Maybe I want to open a particular Power BI report. You can see Save. You can see Save As. It's the same function like you have in Excel, right? Save As is maybe you want to rename the Power BI document with another name. You can see here Share. You can see here Get Data. You can see here Import. You can see here Export. And then the Publish is not active because we've not built any report on this place. So that's still with the file. Now, if you go to the home, right, the same thing you have on, let me try and make this bolding. Okay. The upper side is not bolded, right? So when you click on home, the same thing you have on Excel, you see paste, cut, copy, format painter. These are things that we use in Excel. Format painter is like you actually want to paint a particular report to look this. You want two reports to look the same, right? So instead of you going over the editing, how the same, you color this one, you can just use format painter to just duplicate that particular format, right, that you've done for a particular visual. Then here, this is the interesting part of Power BI, the get data. I think this is one of the powerful things of Power BI, the get data, right? And here you can see you can get data from Excel, Power BI semantic model, data flows, data vars, SQL Server, the web, all data feed, blank. So I'll be going over some of this, right? Excel workbook, maybe you have your data saved in Excel, normal Excel workbook that we know, right? You can bring it into Power BI by clicking on Excel workbook. Power BI semantic model. This one is a semantic model in Power BI service, right? You might not really use this one that often. Can you guys still see my screen, right? So for me, the ones I have used over and over time, Excel workbook, CSV, I've used data flows, I've used data vast. Data vast work more with Power Apps. If you are working with Power Apps and you want to bring data from Power Apps, hope you can still hear me, from Power Apps into Power BI, you use Dataverse. And then I have the web. Yes, I've brought in data from the web. I'll just click on the web. I've used Google Sheets. I've worked with Old Data Feed. Old Data Feed is where you're bringing data from SAP, right? There's a platform called SAP, right? If you are bringing that from SAP, you bring it through using the old data. That's what SAP uses, old data. So in order to connect
Excuse me.
Power BI, can you hear me?
Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Can we ask questions in between or just wait to the end?
Oh, you can ask question. You can ask question, please.
Yeah, so like SAP, is it like the SAP that we know, that the workflow SAP?
Yes, it's not called SAP. It's called SAP.
Yeah, SAP.
It's
Yeah.
actually a Japanese or a French name or something, or a German name. It's very long,
Okay.
so it's called
All
SAP.
right.
The initials, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so they use old data, right? And then a blank query, meaning that you want to put in the data. Maybe you have some information that is not that much, and then you want to bring it in yourself. You can use the blank query, right? So I'll click on these. Are like so probably I'll give like options of the most used source of getting data by everyone, right? But if maybe you are looking for something that is not here, you just click on more. So I'm clicking on the more now, and this more will give me, you can see, so that's grouped them. If you want to get by file, it's asking, is it Excel file? Is it a text file? Is it XML? Is it JSON? JSON is JavaScript object notation. Is it from a folder? Is it from PDF? Is it from Banquet? Is it from SharePoint folder? For those that use more of Microsoft in their organization, they know what a SharePoint folder is, right? Maybe somewhere on OneDrive and you want to bring it in, right? Text or CSV file are comma separated files, right? Excel workbook, JSON will mostly be used by maybe a programmer, right? Mostly used by maybe a programmer, or maybe you have your data, maybe you brought in a data from MongoDB, for example, and data is grouped in JSON or MongoDB. So the only way to make Power BI make sense of it, brings it as Excel workbook. It will really read it well for you, right? So the best way to bring it in is say, well, this file is a JSON file, so you can bring in a JSON file, right? And then we have from a database, right? Every standard organization, they have a database, right? Whether it's the SQL Server database is the Microsoft database, the Azure one. We have Access. We used to have this Access part of Microsoft Office before, right? Access database to be part of it, but I don't know if it's still part of it or they've taken it out, right? We have the SQL Server analysis database, Oracle database, IBM DB2, IBM Informax database, IBM Nexila, MySQL database, Postgres. So irrespective of your database, so don't just say, oh, because my data is in Postgres, I'm not just sticking on any SQL database. I'm sticking on SQL Server. No, if your data is on Postgres SQL, come and say, I'm getting my data from Postgres SQL database, because all of the database they have like a way of connecting. Do you understand? So Power BI has like a way of speaking to this database. You don't expect to I'm trying to look for the right word. Imagine if I'm going for a cocktail party, right? I'm going for a cocktail. What do you wear for a cocktail party? Can anyone tell me? Have anyone been to a cocktail party? What do you wear for a cocktail party?
Lovely gown, short one.
Yeah, lovely gown, shorts, whatever. Looking elegant. It has to be something at least English in a way, right? Imagine I tie gele and I wear Iro and Buba. It just wouldn't fit the whole thing. Fine, I'm wearing a cloth, but then it is not fitting that event. But if I'm going for a Nigerian party, like a Nigerian wedding, and I'm wearing English wear, people will look at you twice and be like, are you not? Don't you understand what is going on here? You understand? That's the way it is here. So don't just pick any database. Say, oh, because it's from database, I'm just picking anyone. No, pick the right one, right? We have the SAP Sahana database here. We have the Microsoft Redshift. I've also worked with Redshift before. I think there's another. Yeah, Amazon Redshift. We have BigQuery. I've also brought data from BigQuery before, right? We have the Snowflakes database. So please check in all of these. We have like thousands and thousands of places you can bring data for. And this is MongoDB. MongoDB is a NoSQL database, right? It's not like a normal SQL database that is relational. This one is not relational, right? So if your data is in a MongoDB database, don't go and click on MySQL. Click on MongoDB database. Now, aside that, we have Microsoft Fabric. So you see for Microsoft Fabric now, you can bring data from this Power BI semantic model, from data flows. I use this a lot. I use data flows a lot. From data mart, this one is specific to the Microsoft Fabric. From the warehouse, the Microsoft Fabric warehouse, the Lakehouse, the KQL database, all of these are in Microsoft Fabric, right? So if you're working with you want to bring in data from that side into Power BI, select the right place your data is and then bring it in. We have the Power Platform, right? I think what I've used mostly is the data vars and data flow. Like I said, we are working with Power Apps, right? So Power BI is part of the 5 Microsoft Power Platform applications. You don't have to worry about the rest, right? But Power BI is just one of them. So that's why you have Power Platform. So from data vars, we have Power Apps. We are bringing that from Power Apps. You want to use the data vars, right? You can also use the common data service or data flows here. You mostly use data flows. And I think in part of this class, we will show you how to use data flows. And also we have the Azure. So which of the Azure services is your data in? You have to be specific, right? And we have the online services. So all those ones that are on the browser, Google Sheets. You see, we have your Google Analytics, SharePoint Online, Azure, GitHub, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? Wherever your data is, you can just bring it in from there. Or if it is from Zoho, you can bring it in anywhere on the internet, right? And then we have others to say, oh, maybe out of all that is listed here, right? Yours is not there. Yours is in an other platform, right? Just click on others and then search for it. You can also use the search button to easily type. Maybe I want to bring data from Google Sheets. Once I type here Google, it gives me Google Sheet, Google Analytics, BigQuery, whichever one that I want to select. So if you know the name of your database or wherever I get your data from, you can just come here and just type it in. So this is a very powerful tool. Like this is one of the strengths of Power BI, how you get data. So these are just icons from this get data. They say, oh, maybe it's an Excel file. Instead of clicking on get data, you can just click on Excel workbook and then bring in your data. So we also have OneLake. This is also known to Microsoft Fabric. If it's from OneLake, you can just click on this and then bring it. If it's from SQL Server, click on this and bring it. And if it's enter data, a blank query, enter that you want to enter your data yourself, you can just now do like this. Let's say Power BI cohort. This is cohort 3, right? And then I want to put my colon. I can do colon. I can say name, and let's say the second is student ID, right? Even you want to type in your data yourself, right? So this is how you do that in Power BI. So you can just put the name. Let's say Chisom. Then okay, let me put the name very well. Chisom. Then the next one I have Iyanu. Then I have OB. Then I have John, right? Then I can say 001, 002, 003, 004. So this one are for maybe we are working with just little data. You don't just bring it in. You can't expect to be typing data of about 50 rows if it's too much. find a way to bring it in. If something of like maybe 4, 5, 10, I think maximum 10. Whatever more than 10, please find a better way to bring in. Power BI is not really meant for typing like the way Excel is meant for typing. All right. So that's that with the get data source, right? That's that with all these. So get data from data vars. You can see your recent sources here, wherever you want to get your data from. That is all with it. We're talking about the ribbon now. We are on home. We talk about the clipboard, the normal paste, copy, cut, format painter. Now we are on data. The next one here, we are on queries, right? And under this query, it does two things, right? You transform your data and then refresh. That's what the query is meant for, this query section of the ribbon, right? If I go to transform data, this transform data will open the most powerful engine in Power BI for me, called the Power Query Editor, right? Once I click on transform data, it will take me somewhere else entirely. And then at the top of this, you see Power Query Editor. So this is where we can clean our data, whatever transformation we want to do in our data, we can do it here. When we do it here, we can now bring it into Power BI. Now, let me help you understand this in layman language. If I want to cook moi moi, for example, what are the steps to cooking moi moi? Who can help us very quickly? What are the steps to cooking moi moi? I don't know if Obi knows what moi moi is. So moi moi is a Nigerian dish made with beans. It's called beans cake, right? So who can help us with the steps to making beans cake? If you can hear me, please, I'm waiting for you.
I can hear you. So usually you would just grind your beans. So after you grind your beans into a puree.
Grind beans cake. So
I
you just
disagree.
carry beans and grind. No, nah.
You have to soak it first and peel it.
Okay,
Hey.
okay. Yeah, you have to
No,
finish up.
that is not even the first step. To even
Okay.
start, you have to have beans. You have to buy beans. Abi? Oh yeah, I'll give you the first step. Okay, now we have beans. What's the next step after having beans?
Then you soak the beans.
Now
for a
they
while.
pick beans.
Beans wey I wan use for my I no dey pick am o.
Hey. Another person, please. let's get other views on this. Are we going to pick the beans or will not pick it?
You pick the beans, you sort it out.
Okay. So after picking the beans, so picking the beans is like we are cleaning it,
Pick-
right?
Yes.
Okay. After picking the beans, what do we do next?
You soak it.
Then we soak it. We soak it for a while.
Yeah, we soak the beans. After soaking the beans, what happens?
And we now peel it.
Okay. So when you peel it, what actually happens to the beans?
Yeah, that means I remove the back cover for the beans so that I will be left with I don't know what the name that is actually called, but it changes color after I might have peeled it.
Okay, all right. So when we soak the beans, right, and then we start to peel it, the beans move from brown to white. It has been transformed, right? The beans has transformed, or has it not?
Yes.
The beans has transformed, right, from brown.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
And after that, we can now grind it, and then start adding whatever we want to add, and then start cooking it. So this place, Power Query Editor, can be likened to that place where you pick your beans. You know, we talked about getting data before, right? So when we get our beans, that is the get data part of Power BI. The Power Query Editor, this is that place where you pick the beans. This is that place where you would soak the beans. This is that place where if you want to peel the beans, you peel it. If you don't want to peel it and you want to maybe just cook beans, you want to make ewagon, to make mashed beans, you can just, now take it into Power BI. So the Power BI itself is like the gas stove that cooks. Do you understand? But here, when it comes to cleaning, transformation, this is where you clean the beans. This is where you peel the beans. So when the beans are, this is where you grind the beans. So now that you've grinded the beans, then you can now transfer whatever you've grinded into a container, right? Where you can now add your pepper, your whatever, your fish, put the pot on fire. So now moving to Power BI, this engine now that I'm showing you right now, this is where you now, after I have grinded my beans, I will now bring it here. We will do all of that. I will now bring it here, right? When I bring it here, this is where I can now add the pepper. This is where I can now, add the Maggi, the fish, and put it on fire for it to cook and then become nice for me to enjoy. Then when it is served, then we have the publish, right? Publish means that I want to now share this beans cake with somebody. Maybe my friend, my colleague, and the others, right? But please, this interface is not where you pick the beans. This is not where you grind the beans. I'm using beans so that it is relatable for us, right? This is not where you grind the beans or peel the beans or soak the beans. You do that in Power Query Editor. So we call this Power Query Editor the place for cleaning and transforming data. Whatever cleaning, transformation, you want your data to look whatever thing you want to do, you do it on Power Query Editor. Then once you've done all of that, you now bring it into Power BI. You have this close and apply. Once you click on this close and apply, whatever you've done on Power BI or the Power Query Editor will now come into Power BI here, right? When it comes to Power BI, then you can now start with your DAX. So your DAX can be like your data modeling first, can be likened to you adding pepper and salt, writing your DAX, and then doing those visualizations, right? So we would go into all of that. So we are on queries. I'm telling you what this query will do. So transform data will open the Power BI, the Power Query Editor for you for your clean and transformation. The second thing you have on your transform that is very powerful is data source setting, right? Here you will see where the source of your data is coming from. So maybe, for example, I want to get a data from an Excel file, and then I've ended up getting it from a CSV file. Once I click on this data source setting, it will tell me, oh, this file, okay, these are like your sources of data that I've used for past reports. So you can see here, you will now see, oh, this thing is from, oh, this is like a MongoDB, this thing. This is Redshift database. This is data flows. This is Redshift. This is Delta sharing. So you can see places I've taken my previous data from, because I'm clicking on global permission. If I click on data source in this current file, it will be empty because there is no data yet. So if I click on it, it will show me where the address of my data, where it's coming from. So I can see whether it is an Excel file or a CSV file. So in case I make any mistake, I come to it and say, where is the source of this data? Oh, it is coming from a CSV file and not an Excel file. And I can change that from here. You have this icon here that are not edited because there's no information here. The change source, you can come here and then change the source of your data to right on. So you'll find that under transform data. The other one is refresh, right? If I want to refresh my data, I want new information to come in, I'll find that under refresh. Another powerful one is the insert. Here you find all of your visuals: bar chart, star column chart, star bar chart, area chart, line chart, water funnel, pie chart, donut chart, tree map, your cards, slicers, tables, AI visuals, the Python ones, right? And if these visuals are not enough for you, you are the type that you like to look for specific visuals that people do not use and it's not here, you don't have to worry. Just click on get more visuals. When you click on get more visuals, it opens the Microsoft Store for you. And here you find thousands and thousands of visuals that are not common, right? If I want to, maybe I'm looking at them like, oh, what's this visual all about? I can click on this and say, oh, this thing, the icon looks very interesting. So let me look at it. It will give me the details of that visuals, right? And show me a sample report ahead. So I can see this Pareto by CO2 graph. I can read about it, right? And then it's a sample of what it can do, right? So I can read about it and look at, okay, do I have anything I want to represent in this particular format? Does it serve my need? Right? So you can read all of this information. If it serves your need, you can add it. You see the add. You can add it into your Power BI. Once you add it, you find it among your chat. So let me do one for it. Let me look for one. Let's see. Okay, this is interesting. This is a toggle chart that gives me this on and off. Maybe I will say when you toggle on, something should show. When you toggle off, another thing to show. See, they have here, I can use it for on and off. I can use it for show and hide. Right? I can use it to say, oh, maybe I want to show London. I want to show Madrid. Do you understand? I want to show for a particular city. So it's telling me different things I can use this for. And I'll be like, oh, I really like this. Let me add it. Once I click on add, I'm adding this. Why is it taking so long? Okay. All right. So I've clicked on add. By the time I scroll down, to say import successful, right? By the time I scroll down, I can see the visual here. This is it here. If I click on this, this is the visual, the on and off visual. Depending on whatever I want to use it for. Right. Okay. So we are going over the ribbon. Like I said, this is where you get all your charts. Whether you want the custom chart or you want to use the one that Power BI has already provided for you. Or you can also remove a visual, right? That's maybe the one you brought in. If you no longer need it or it's not serving you, you can click on remove a visual and then you can just click on this to remove it if you do not want it anymore. Right? So you find all your visuals here. So there's also say import a visual file. So maybe you went to the browser and you find a particular visual that is so interesting. And you're like, oh, this particular visual, I like it so much, right? And then they give you options to download it. So you've downloaded that visual to your laptop. You can bring it in, right? I really don't have any, right? But then if you have such, you can bring it in, but also cautioning you so that you do not bring in virus or something that does not align with the way the Power BI works. But I think the safest way to bring in custom data is to go to the Microsoft Store and then search for it. That are thousands of these things that you find there. So just click on get more visuals and then you go to your Microsoft Store. This is another one, a SAT. So now this one is a text box. This is not a visual. I want to type something. I want to say, hello, class. I can do that here, right? Once I click on my text box, I can do that here. I can do a lot of things. I can highlight, I can bolden it, put it in the center, right? Or put it to the left, to the right. I can change whatever, do some formatting on it. I can increase the font, just like you work with Microsoft Word, right? So this is a chat box, a text box I can bring into Power BI. And here we also have more visuals. Like I said, if you don't want to click on it here, get more visuals, you can click on here and you see more visuals. So we are still on the OMO. We are looking at all of the capabilities of Power BI, right? One after the other. So now we have calculation. This ones are not bolded because we've not brought in any data, like I said. Then we have the new measure. New measure, just like in measure, like formula. The way we have formula bar in Excel. If you open Excel, let me open Excel file so that I can just refresh our memory of Microsoft Excel as we go on, right? If I open an Excel file, you see that you have this thing called a formula bar where I can put my formula, say 2 plus 2, and I'll have it as 4, right? Here, let me bolden this. And I'll have it as 4. If you look at my formula bar, you have 2 plus 2. So if you look at Power BI database, there's no automatic formula bar showing at the top. But once you click on this new measure, it brings something like a formula bar for you where you can type in formulas. So when you click on new measure, that's where you can type in your formulas. Quick measure is using a form of AI to say, let me predict some calculations you want to do based on data you got in. So if I bring in some data now and I go to quick measures, it will give me suggestions of different calculations I can do based on the data I brought in. But then if you are not sure, you can use quick measure for maybe you just want to get some insight. I really don't use quick measure because this AI, they can just be very funny. I really don't use quick measure. I like to write my measure myself, right? And ensure that I know what is running behind the scene. So I mostly use new measure and not quick measure, right? Quick measure does it for you, like it just suggests and it just does it, right? You might not really know what it's doing, except you have to start looking at the formula and then start understanding all of those things that is happening there. Then we have the publish. This, like I say, you want to share to the service. Publish, like I want to now take whatever I've built on my Power BI desktop, and now want to share it for other people in order to see what I have done. To see, like I said, the only way, if you do it on Power BI desktop, the only way they can see it is when you give them your laptop, right, for them to see it. But if you want them to see it automatically, you can, when you click on publish, it will tell you where do you want to publish it to. You publish it there, you share access with your organization, and then once they click on the link and they log in with the right email and password, they will be able to view it on the server. They won't be able to view it on desktop. It will view for them on the cloud, like this one that we have here, right? They'll be able to see it on the cloud, and also they can now view it on their mobile. The same link can enable them view it on their mobile phone too. If they use that same link on their phone, it will open it for them. If they have the Power BI apps downloaded already, if they don't have it downloaded, you can still see it on the browser on their phone, but it is more better for phone interactivity to use the Power BI app service. So that's that for the home. And then we have Copilot, to suggest for you AI to help you whenever you are stuck. Then we have the insert. Some things here are really the same, so I'll just run over this very quickly.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
please. Why talking about the Copilot? I've heard about it before, but in this case, when we are stuck, sorry, in this case, like when we are stuck, like where we're trying to translate raw data into like more readable format. So is it a case that we can click on it and then we can query it like ChatGPT, or like how does it work?
Yeah, it's actually meant to work like ChatGPT, right? To help you. Maybe you put in a particular formula, you say, oh, I'm trying to do so and so. This is what I have, and then it can correct it for you and all of that. But you need to pay for it. Like I just click on it, you can't have access. If you're using a free option, you can't have access, right? It's actually paid. So you have to pay for Copilot license, right? Or if your admin can fix it, I think there's a particular version of this thing that you need to have. I really don't know. Then your admin can enable Copilot for everyone, but it's actually paid for. The service is paid for. It's not free. Yeah, but it's really meant to work like ChatGPT actually. But ChatGPT can still be your friend in this case. So, like I said, insert. You want to open a new page, duplicate page. If I click on blank page, you open another. You see page 1, page 2. I can do all of that in insert. Like I said, my visuals are also here. Page data return. I want to go to Powerhouse, Power Automate. I want to bring in a button, like a text box, shape, Maybe I want to bring in a oval shape in my, I can bring that in from shape. I want to bring in a particular image. I think I have some image. Let me see what image is this one that I have here. Yeah, this is a LinkedIn icon. I just click on image and then it went to my laptop for me and then is bringing, let me see if I can bring in my picture. Let me go to picture. Let me go to order. If I go open something I'm not meant to open it. Let me go to my desktop. Let me see. I have pictures here. Okay, maybe I want to bring in my picture. I can do that. I can bring in my picture. Oh, the file doesn't have a valid image format, or the image is too large. So you see, you can't bring anything anyhow actually. So you have to just check. Okay, so I was able to bring in this picture, right? This is my picture, and I can resize it, right? And I can put it maybe at the right side of this. Let me scroll up and put it at the top right of my. Let me still make it smaller. Okay, this can be like a passport picture. Maybe I'm doing some analysis about bank statements and I want to put the image of, the account holder. This can be a perfect fit. I can decide to now put an image beneath it, and then all of those things that you do in Excel, and then you want to group them together, or you want to do whatever. You can do all of those graphic design here too. There's that capacity. You can bring in image, you can bring in button to say, oh, there's some reports, they will say, click here to go back, right? When you click here, you see the back. When you click here, you can put some text on top, say, when you click here, it takes you to the previous page, right? So this is where you get all of those buttons. You can click it. When you click this one, it gives you more information about the report. You can just make your report very interactive, right? Very user friendly. That when people see this icon, you can put information there of what it does, and then they can say, oh, they know what to do. If I want more information about this particular report, this is what I can click on. So let me do this. Let me click on this information icon, right? And then I'm coming. Let me try to format it. Let me put a title, and I can say get more information, or click here to get more information. Click here to get more information. Right, let me close this and let me see what I've done here. So you can see here. So if I put this icon maybe on beneath this my image, right? Anybody that sees this like, okay, to know more about this image, once I click here, I can get more information about that, just for interactivity. So like I said, you find that in SAT. You see button, shapes, image. Going to modeling, right? Here, this is another powerful part of Power BI called the data modeling. What do we do here? When you have like 2 or more tables brought into Power BI, this table needs to communicate in a way. They need to communicate to each other, right? They need to be like, I know in primary school, let us do this very quickly. In primary school, there's something we do called, I like to use this very much. Is it LCM? How many of us did LCM? Tens and units. Do you guys go to the same primary school like me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I did.
So if we do 2, let me use my over. I'm coming. No. Let me, I really want to bolden this up. Okay. Yeah. So we are doing LCM. We have 2, right? Over, no, this underline is not working. Let me use this. Over 5. Let me use format printer. Okay. We have 2 over 5. And here we have 1 over 5. I'm coming on. So you can see my format printer. The same thing it does in Power BI is what it does in Excel. Okay. Let me go to bottom border. Yeah. So we have 2 over 5 and we have 1 over 5. When we want to do our LCM, we first draw a line, right? True or false? Oh yeah, now. We first draw a line. Is that not true? Can you guys hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Francisca, I guess it's your network, because Chisom can. Yano, can I know? John, can you hear me? Obi, can you hear me? Can I get
Yes,
some
I can hear
reaction?
you, just that I can hear just that the screen is not visible at my end.
Any
Yeah,
other
I say you should
person?
leave the class, then join again. I think
Okay,
it's your
Alright.
network, sir.
okay.
Should I stop presenting or am I good to go?
You're good to go. Can others, can
Alright,
you see her
interesting.
screen?
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Alright. So we're talking about LCM, right? We have 2 over 5. Oh, I didn't put my plus sign. Let me insert. So that we can do this the way we do it back then in school. Right, let me merge this together. Then I put my plus. Right. Excel want to do what only Excel can do. Okay. Let's imagine I have I'm looking for my plus sign. Just plus. Don't select anything. Okay. So my plus sign is not staying. Right, but let me use the X sign. So if we're having this as 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5, what is the common denominator here? We say the common denominator is what? I don't know.
It's
2 over
5.
5 plus 1 over 5. Common denominator is what?
It's 5.
Is 5, right? Then from here,
Yes.
we can now start doing whatever. So 5 divided by 5. Is it 5 divided by 5? 5 multiplied by 5. Then, no, 5 divided by 5. That's 1. Then plus 2. Then we'll now have 3. You understand? Right? But what I'm driving at is this common denominator, the way we do LCM and HCF in primary school. Right? You do 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5. Or 1 over 3 plus 2 over 3. They'll say, what's the common denominator? 5 or 3. Right? The same thing in Power BI. So if you are bringing two data together, you need to look at what is here that is here. What is the common denominator here? What is that thing that is on this particular table and that is on the second table too? When you find what is common, that becomes your what? Your common denominator. That now becomes the thing you use to join. Like you see, if I want to add, this is a different table. 2 over 5 is a different thing entirely. 1 over 5 is a different thing entirely. But now for me to bring these two together, right? I'll first look for the common denominator. I'll now do 5 divided by 5. That is 1. 1 plus 2 will give me 3. Right? I'll do here 5. Let me format this thing. Right? It's 3. I'll come here and do 5 divided by 5. 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then when I bring the plus sign, 2 plus 3 will give me 5 divided by 5. So in this way, what have I done? These two fractions now, I have brought them into one, right? By looking for for what? A common denominator. And then that's the way it works for Power BI too. Right? When you bring in two files, you are looking for what is common between these two files. Whatever is common between those two files, that is what you use to join them together to make them in a way one. Even though they are two, right? You can now join them together to become one. Another example, so a man shall leave his father and his mother and shall cleave to his wife, and two shall become one. Praise the Lord. If you can hear me, shout hallelujah now. Shoo, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. All right, great. So now it's another way. You're bringing two people and they are becoming one. So the same thing in Power BI, when you bring two or more tables together, you have to find a way to unite them for them to operate as one in order to ensure that your Power BI works very smoothly. All right, so that's that data modeling, right? This relationship part of Power BI. You're gonna see a icon here joining two other icons, right? Relationship. And then we have the calculation, the same way the new measure, quick, like I said, measure is more like calculation, right? So just have that in mind that, oh, this is like a calculation. And then we have the page refresh, new parameters, manage rows. So this manage rows is used for security, right? But mostly you use manage row more in Power BI, in Power BI service. And what manage row does is, if you are an accountant, if Chisom is in HR, right? Chisom is in HR, OB is in let's say OB is an accountant, and then Arrow John is in sales. So now we have HR, we have accountant, we have sales. If I'm building a report for the entire organization, Chisom as an HR should only see information related to HR. Chisom
I can't hear you any longer.
hello guys, can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
All right. Sorry. My network. All right, okay. I'm back. Sorry. My Wi-Fi died, so I had to check that very quickly. So, as I was saying, if Chisom as an HR person, right, is HR, she shouldn't be seeing information about sales because that is not a department, right? If we have OB as an accounting person, OB shouldn't be privy to information about HR or sales. Arrow John is a salesperson. He should only have information to sales, right? So we do this thing, this security, role level security, that's the name. You say your role level security. So based on your role, that determines the kind of access that you will have to our organization report. You can't just throw all our report open. Even though you are in our organization, everybody cannot just see everything, right? So we need to cover some things. It is not your business. You don't have you don't have any business looking at that or focusing on that, right? That's why we have the manage roles, right? So you do this more with Power BI service than on a desktop. Then we have the Q&A. Then I'm going to the view. The view is like for team. Maybe you want to change a particular color. You're not really the graphical person. You don't know how to work with colors, right? So you can just use all of this Power BI. Like I see, look at this chart. As I'm clicking on it, it's changing, right? You can just select anyone. It just gives you a theme, right? If you really don't, you're not a type that really likes colors, you don't know how to work with colors, you can work with Power BI theme. Or like I said, you want to bring in a theme from whatever from a gallery of something, you can do that from the view. You have a theme. Then we have the view report, right? You want to look at the actual size, fit to page, or fit to width, right? You want your report to be full the whole place. You can come to page and then say, I want to view it based on fit to width or fit to page or actual size, depending on whatever you want to, how you want to see your report actually. Then we have the mobile layout. This is very important because if I'm building a report that will be viewed on the mobile phone, right? After I have viewed the report, after I've created it, I need to see how it will show on the mobile phone. So that at the end of the day, the report I've built everything will not look so disorganized, right? So if I'm building a report so that I'll be viewed on the mobile phone, I can see everything I've brought it. Can you see this? Click here to get no. Initially, it was under this my picture and it was at the right side. But when I click on mobile layout, can you see what's happening now? It has this, but so in case if this is meant to be here and this is meant to be here, so you have to arrange it properly, the way you want it to be viewed on the mobile phone. So you click on mobile layout for you to see it, right? So you can see a preview of, oh, by the time I publish this report to the service, this is how whoever is checking it on the phone would see it. Right. So that's that with the mobile layout. Once you click out on it, it comes back to the actual dusted. So we have, you want to add grid lines, your report, you really don't need this. You want to snap to grid, you want to lock objects, or you want to create filters, page managers. So this one will only show you the show panel to show you the things that are accessible on the right side here of your report, right? So that's that with view. I'm going to optimize, right? Optimize, you want to just apply or filter button. Performance analyzer. This is one beautiful thing that you also use in Power BI. Performance analyzer. And what this is saying is when you click on this, right, it will check, it will start recording for it, start refresh, check the time it takes for your report to load. So you can see which report or which particular visuals is taking your report time to load, to refresh. For example, if I do a report that is meant to refresh for ideally in the next 5 minutes, whatever you've done should refresh, no matter where you're bringing it from. In 5 minutes, it should refresh. But if it's taking 30 minutes for your data or whatever you've built to refresh, then there's a problem. So you come to performance analyzer here to see. It gives you the time each of your bar chart, your tiles, whether it's you brought in an image, you brought in a bar chart, pie chart, whatever, it shows you how long it takes for it to load, so that you can see the one that is taking too much time and then go and check it and say something is wrong, I've done something wrong, so I need to optimize this particular report to ensure that it doesn't take this too much time for it to refresh. And then we have the help button. You want to click on about, guided learning, training tutorials, documentation, support. These are just Power BI support community. You want to go to the community group, Power BI blog, Power BI for developers. You want to submit an idea. You want to bring in external tools, example. These are just like help buttons on Power BI. So I have covered the entire ribbon from file to help. Now I'm going to the right side of my Power BI, this side, right, to tell you what these buttons are going to be used for. First, there's something called filter. If I'm working on a particular report and maybe I want to see top 10, let's say top 10 performing employees, right? I can do that filter here, right? We'll do that as we go on in class. I'm just giving us like a general overview of what all of these things are used for. I can do all of those filter here. Let me go to Power BI service and let me show you, or one of the report that I'll show you. Okay, now look at this report now. If you look at this one, it says top 5 soft skill response by country. Can you see it? You see the same filter that is here. It's the same that is here. It's the same thing that is called filters here. If I go here now and I expand these filters, if I click on this particular icon here, I'm coming. Let me go back. Let me do edit. No. So you can see country. You can see the top 5 by response. This is where I have filtered. Normally, if I clear this filter, if I clear it, you see that it's loading. You see that you can see lots of countries here. Do you understand? But in order for me to, I really don't want to be seeing all of this information. I only want to see top 5. So I do that here. I have to bring in the whatever now, right? To ensure that this is, so I did that streamlining from my filter. So that's what this one will be used for most of the time. You want to see bottom 5, top 10, bottom 10, or you want to see some specific information that you're picking, you do that in this filter page. And you can decide whether you want to filter only on this page or on all the pages of your report, right? For example, maybe I'm doing a report for 2024 and I have from 2021 to 2024. I can decide that, on all my pages, I only want the year to be 2024. So instead of me doing it on each page 1, you go and filter page 2. You can see filter on all pages. So once I bring in the year and I click on 2024, automatically it works for all the page of my report, everything once, right? That's what the filter is used for. And we have here the format. This is an amazing place, format, right? So here I can decide how I'm currently formatting this white page of my report. I can decide whether I want it, whatever I want it to be, right? Allow Q&A. I want to bring in a background picture. I can click on browse. Let me put this image as background, right? You can see transparent, 100%. I can turn that off. And then I can see the image that I brought in, right? I can decide that, oh no, this image, I want to put it to fit the screen, or I want it to fill the screen, or I want it to be normal. Whichever way I want the image to do, right? It will do it for me on my background. Can you see that? Right? I'm working on this background now. So you can just explore this one. We have the wallpaper, or you want to, instead of this, you want to use colors instead. So let me turn off this background. Let me cancel this. So now instead of, you want to use a wallpaper. Okay, it's like I've shaded this thing. What's this color? This is like teal green, right? I can decide to make it transparent, maybe to 100%, whichever way I want the transparency to work, right? I can move around that. So you can just explore this particular side of the format. Then I said the same icons we have in our insert for the visual, the same thing that is here. You can select your visual here. And this place will show you all the data sets. So let me close the filter. Let me close this format. Sometimes when you open everything, it makes this place smaller. So you can just close it by clicking on this 2 arrow here to say collapse or expand. You can click on this. You can collapse this one too. You can collapse this one too, right? Then we have here, you see this icon here, like container. That is my data. Whatever data I'm bringing in, you find all of the table names, everything here. Then here I have my build, right? Format, Copilot, my bookmark, and I can bring in maybe any other icon that I want from here, that I want it to be easily accessible on the right side. I can bring them in. If there's anyone that is there that I don't want, maybe I really don't want Copilot among this selection, I can turn it off or I can turn it on. I can bring in Performance Analyzer, whatever it is I want to bring in. I can do all of that by clicking on the plus sign on the right side. Any question before I move on to the left side? There are also some other icons here that we'll talk about. Any question, please? Any question? All right, there are no questions. Any question before we move on? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? All right, you say you can hear me. That's great, 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 great. So now I have here something called the report view. Means that what you are seeing currently is called the report view. You really need to know the name it is called, right? If I tell you, oh, please go to your report view, this what you are seeing, this blank page is called, if I go to page 2, this page is called report view, right? We have another one called table view. If I want to see my data in table, this is where I'll see it. And this is called the model view, where, like I said, I create relationship between 2 or more tables and make them one, right? And then the other one called the DAX query view, where you see your DAX queries, that's your formulas, and then run it to know which one is running better and which one is having issue. But I think this will mostly work with Copilot and all of that. So basically, you'll be working more with the report view, table view, and model view. Please, you need to know the name. The report view is the first one you see, the table view is the second one, and the third one is the model view. So without wasting much of our time, let me just delete this page 1 and let us bring in a data. Let us start in all that we've learned today, into one. And then after that, we'll take our quiz. Hopefully by 6 p.m., we can ask questions and we can end this class very quickly. So let's try and work on this. Let's try and replicate this soft skill data. Right? Let's very quickly, with all that we've learned, please, I'll need you to be very interactive because I'll be asking questions and your response will really help us go either slowly or faster, right? So we want to replicate this particular report, right, in Power BI, this soft skill response. Now, this our data. Let me show you. Where is the data coming from? Let me get the data. So this data is on Google Sheet, right? And then we are going to get the data. So let me first show you the data. I don't look at my email. Let me show you the data. So this is the data, soft skill. Wow. So this is the data that we're working with. Where is this data residing on? Is on where? Google Sheet. Please, can you please let me know where is data residing? Where is data residing from? Or where is data? Where are we getting it from? Great. We are getting it from Google Sheets. Awesome. So now let me go to my Power BI. Power BI is opened, right? Where do I go? I go to my home and I say get data. If I look at here, I can't see Google Sheet. I want all of this selection here. So I'll go to more, right? So what do I do here very quickly? Very quickly. Google Sheet. All right. So we'll type in Google Sheets. Please, Chisom shouldn't be the only one talking. OB, Don, Iano, I want you to unmute your mic. OB, you can use the chat box, right? But I want you to say something. So once I click on Google Sheets, what happens? I click on connect, right? It's asking me the URL. See, if I okay, let me go something now. Let me show you something. If I click on Excel workbook, it won't ask me for URL. It will ask me to open my laptop for me and say, where is the file? On my desktop or wherever it is saved, and it will bring it in. Do you understand? Like I said, it's very important to know the name of where your data is residing so that you know each of them have different way of operating. So when I click on Google Sheets, it's not opening my laptop for me to say, oh, bring it from desktop. It's asking me for the URL because it knows that Google Sheet is a cloud-based, is on the cloud, right? So it's a cloud-based service. So it's asking me for the URL of the cloud, wherever it is. and then I'll copy and then put it here. Put the URL here and then say okay. So it's very important for you to know where your data is from and then know how to get your data. So once I click on, it shows me this is my form response. Is this what we want to work on? I guess this is what we are. So you can see I had to check. Initially, this wasn't checked, right? So in case that we should have like different tables or different sheets, I have to keep checking to check which one is the exact one I want to bring in. So now I can see here, this is called form response, and then this is showing me all of my data. So will I load or will I transform data? Which one will I do? Iyanu, John, Chiso, Obi, am I loading or am I transforming my data?
I think you load it first.
Okay. This is a transform and load. Ideally, once you load, right? Let me click on load. Once you load, it loads into Power BI for you. Like I said, when we get our bills, the first thing we are doing is what? We are picking it first. We are cleaning it. If we want to transform it, we do that in what? Power Query. So ideally, once you get data, you don't load it because it won't make sense. Power BI is where you put the stove on the gas, where you put the beans on the stove or on the gas or electric or whatever, and then you start to cook it, right? And then you start to cook it. So it's not nice for you to just carry beans and then put it on the gas and start cooking it. You need to first do the cleaning first. You don't start cooking it, then you now bring it down from the stove to now pour the water away, to now start picking. Do you understand? You could make a lot of mistake. You could even cook stone. So the best way to do, let me go back, is when we get data, is to transform. You click on transform data instead. So I'm going back, I'm connecting, I'm using the same URL. Okay. And then we are back to where we were. This is taking a while to load. I guess it's based on the URL. So let's just give it some time. While it is loading, I want to do another thing. See, we have country here. I want to get data from the web that tells me the country of the world and their capital so that I can match each country to their capital, since I don't have that information about capital here, right? Or I want to see the currency that each of these countries are spending. So I can come here and then to the web and then type world countries and capital. Let's see. I have here capital cities of every independent country. So let me open that. Why this is loading? Okay, now I have my form response here. It has loaded, right? We say we are doing what we are transforming data. Now it has opened Power Query Editor for us, right? This other first one, let me just delete that one because we loaded that one into Power BI, which is very wrong. Now we transform data. Like I said, I want to bring another information about capital city of every. Let me see. Can I get this from here? Okay, I have it here, but look at the way it is showing in this place. Okay. Let me now get this data. How do I get? Who will tell me what's my source of data? How can I get this data from here into Power BI? And this is what I want to work with. I want to work with all of these 195 countries and their capitals. How can I get this data? Remember, we've opened Power BI desktop here, and then we have Power Query already because we brought in our first data already inside this place, right? And from Power Query too, you can get data. Once I click on new source, the same thing I have on Power BI, I have it here, the same, all of them, right? So now, how can I get this my data? Where is this data residing? Who can tell me where it is residing? Where is this data residing? Very quickly, everyone. Where is this data residing? On the web. Beautiful.
On the web.
So now, if I come to Power Query, and I click on get data, what should I be typing? What should I be typing? If you can hear me,
Web.
please let me know. What should I type? Web. Thank you.
Web.
Please let us. All right, great. Once I click on web, I click on connect. It's asking me for what? URL. Let me go and copy this URL and then put it here. And let me click on OK. It's asking me the URL. Let me connect. Okay. It's saying I should wait while we establish a connection to that URL. So now this URL has loaded and a lot of things have loaded with it. We have display text, HTML code. If I click on this, is this what I want to see? I'll scroll down. Is this what I want to see? No, what I want to see is not here. I'll uncheck. Go to HTML code. Uncheck this one. What I want to see, is it here? Is not here. I'll uncheck the HTML code. I have this table 1. This table 1 is giving me something in table. But I don't really think what I want to see is here, because it has not given me the state, the country, the way I use a different table entirely. So that means this URL can't serve the purpose for which I want to use it for. So I can go back to Android and check. Let me check. I have a list of country, capital, and their currency. Let me see if this URL can give me something in a table format that I can use for my analysis. So when it comes to the web, you have to do a lot of search, because like I said, see the first one we brought in, it can't serve us, right? So we have to go back to the web. And okay, now this one is bringing it in tabular form. Can we see? So I guess if I bring it to Power BI, it should give me this information in tabular form. So now let me look for the URL. This other one now, I'll just cancel it. Cancel. Go to new source. More. I'm on Power Query now. Then I'll click on the web again. I didn't spell that well. Click on the web. Connect. It's asking me for what? URL. I'll come and then I'll copy this. Oh, this is not the other one. Okay, this is the one we want to copy. So I'll copy this URL. Copy. Bring it here. Paste. Okay. Hope you are following. Then I'll connect. Right? Remember, your source of data is very important. Where your data is coming from, you need to know it. Right? So let's wait. We are waiting. It's creating a connection between those two information. So I'm walking you through everything that we've done. Next week, Mr. Emmanuel will go into all of this ribbon in Power Query, what it does, everything. But I'll just touch on it very quickly and I'll move, since we are doing a general overview. So this is still loading. This is loading. I really want us to be done with building this report in 20 minutes so that we can ask questions and then we can do our quiz before we leave. And if there's any other thing for the class, we can also, have that. So someone should time us. 20 minutes, we should be done building this report. We need is it a timekeeper now? This is 5:15 from my side. Who is going to be our timekeeper to ensure that we build that report in 20 minutes? Timekeeper, anybody? Anybody? All right. Chisom is the timekeeper. So our time starts now. So please, everybody on the class, I need us to be very active. Let's speak quickly, sharply, so that we can get this done. This data is even taking too much of our time already. But we have to just wait for it, because we can't go on until we have our data loaded here. Where is it? Where is that young man that was loading? What's going on? Yeah. What happened? Is there an issue? Okay, it's okay. Let me just close all of this. Because Power BI sometimes can run you straight. So where is it? Okay, let me go to my task manager and let me just close the Power BI. Let me just force it to close. I guess that data we are working on, I don't know. But let me just try it again. If we can't bring it in, we'll just leave that part. Right? Let me just end tax and I need to force this Power BI to shut down. Okay. So let me open my Power BI again. Don't send me notification. No. And then I'll go over bringing in this data very quickly. But if we can't get, I'll try one more time. So I'm clicking on blank report. If we can't bring in that data, let me start with the web data. If we are not able to bring it in, we will just stop so that it doesn't go and crash my system or introduce some virus. But let me see how this runs. So our time is still running. Our time is running. Our 20 minutes has to be 20 minutes. So our time is running already. So let me give this 1 to 2 minutes. If this doesn't run, we'll have to leave this guy behind. But you get the idea around bringing in data from the web. We have to just be careful of which data you're bringing in actually. So let me just wait for 1 more minute. Maybe it will give us what we want. If not, we will move on without it. All right. My patience cannot wait for this guy. So let's go to Google Sheet. Let's bring in our Google Sheet data again. Connect. Let me get my URL for my Google Sheet. I'm copying this and then I'm bringing this in and I'm saying, okay. Okay. These are form REST, but I said we'll transform data so that I open the Power Query editor and then we can do on our cleaning and transformation here. Right. Okay. So let me just refresh this. Right. Instead of soft skill response 1, I can just call it Power BI test. Power BI what 3 test data. Right. So I double click to rename. Right. There's something called use first. You see, it's showing me colon 1, colon 2, colon 3, colon 4, colon 5. And these are my header here. So there's something called use first rule as header. Don't worry, Mr. Emmanuel will touch more on that. So now I have my header here, my applied step, whatever I'm doing is being recorded for me here. So in case that there's no Control Z in Power BI. So if I want to go back, I can just cancel this. Then I have my colon 1, colon 2, in case I make any mistake. So whatever I do is being recorded in this applied step. I can cancel it at any time I make a mistake. So I'll go back. Use first rule as headers. Checking my data type. See, everything here is valid, right? Error. So you find this one under view, the column quality, right? It's not automatic. You have to turn it on yourself. So this one just tells me, okay, if there's any error in any of my, everything is 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Checking my data type. Is this a date? This is showing that this should show as date. This is number, full name, email, text. This should be like text. Would you like to text, right? But I don't want this plenty information. I don't want this. Will you like to this score? I also don't want it. This social media. Okay, I can use leave that one, but I really don't want these 2 columns. So I can select them and then right click and just say remove columns. I don't want those ones. This is where you remove clear, like I said. Like whatever you don't want, you do that here. I really don't want those ones. And what else? What else is that I don't want here? I think I'm good to go. Everything here is fine. Then I can close and apply. Meaning I've picked the beans, I've done whatever I want to do with it. Now I'm applying it into, I'm bringing it now into the Power BI engine to cook this report for me, right? So now I've applied. You see what I was talking about? When I click on, if you click on this data, right, you can see all I brought in, the data sets, the social, everything, all the column names, you see them here, right? If this is my report view, like I said earlier, where I build my report, if I click on table view, what happens? You will see at the tabular form, the data that we brought in, right? This Power BI core 3 test data, you see it here. So if you bring in more than one data, you see all of them here, right? I said model view. This is where we create relationship with one or more tables, right? So I only have one table here or one data file here, right? So there's nothing to connect with. But in order for me to connect, right, I want to create another table called a date table. And this one you use it mostly in Power BI. And what it does is you are like telling Power BI, see, because if you have maybe sales data, inventory, all of them come with their different dates. And then some dates, you can't just use dates anyhow. You have to like define your own particular date to say, okay, my Power BI report, no matter the report, this is the date I am using. Do you understand? So every other date has to conform to this date. So we call that a date table, and it's also called a dimension table. We have fact table and dimension table. I won't talk about that, but what I'm saying is we want to bring in a date table so that this my date here, right, can conform to that date table that I am setting. Right? It's like you making a law to say that everybody must pay their tax at the 30th or 31st at the last day of the month. So we are conforming all our data to one particular structure or one particular order. And the way I will do that is I'll come here, go to table 2 and click on new table. I'm bringing in a new table entirely. So now, like I said, the formula bar is up for me now, right? I want to write a formula. But this formula I'm writing is actually a date table. So I'm writing a formula that says equals to give me calendar dates. So we have a formula called calendar day, where the start date. So it's guiding you calendar, saying give me a start date and you give me end date. A start date, I'll put in my date function, date. So what year is it starting from? 2024. What month? January 01. What day? 01. Close the bracket, comma. It's guiding me. End date. I'll bring in date. What year? 2024. What month? December 12. What day? 31st. So I'm saying that whatever date I'm doing now is starting from the 1st of January till 31st of December. Once I click on enter, I have my date table here. Right? I can now say no, I want it as short date. I can edit it here. Right? If I go to my model view, what has happened? Now I have 2 tables. One is what? The date table that we created, and I say I want to make all my dates conform to. And then the second one is what? The Power BI Core 3. Any question from here? Any question from here? All right. So now to create, like I said, LCM, ACF, common denominator. What's the common factor between this and this? Who can tell us very quickly? What's common between this table and this table? Yes, but in one it is called date. The second one is called what? On my date table, it is called date. On my second table, I can't say anything like date here.
Month.
What name is it called?
Oh.
So if you don't know, you can go back to your you go back to your table view. If I click on date table, I will see the table is called date here. If I click on Power BI Core 3 data, what was it called here? Time stamp. Even though it's the same date. So I can come and say, okay, what I'm joining, so the common factor between this table and this table is the what? The dates. Right? You can see, it says you want to create a relationship between these two people. You want to make them one. Yes, I want to make them one. We'll talk about all of these cardinalities later. You see, it has created a relationship between, and two shall become one. Now there's a relation between this one and this table. So now I'm coming out to Power BI. I'm saying I've created my relationship. I can see my table view. I can see my
Sorry to
report. Now,
interrupt. Could you please do
okay,
that again?
the connection.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me delete
Including the
this.
calendar formula stuff.
The calendar formula. No, what I only
Yeah.
did was, so this one I only said calendar. When I do calendar, it's asking me put in a start date and an end date. So what I did was to put in a start date, I have to call my date function, say dates. So date will not ask me. Let's go over this again. If I cover my calendar now, right? If I do calendar, there's calendar and there's calendar auto. If I do calendar auto and I just do 12, it will give me from January to December, from 2023. Say, do you understand? But I don't want to use calendar auto. I want to set my calendar myself. It's asking me a start date. So when do you want your day to begin from? Our day should bring from where? January, 1st of January, right? And it said end date. Where will your date end? End in December. So now I can't just start putting January or December. I will cause error. So I have to call my dates. Date function. Date is saying what year? I'm still on start date. What year? 2024, comma. Let's go to month. What month? January. What day is 01? Close the brackets. You see that it's that saying that, oh, start date has been filled, comma. Now I'm going to end date. Click on date again. What year? 2024. What month now? December. What day? 31st. Do you understand? Once I close this, I close the entire bracket, everything, and then once I click OK, we have our date running from 1st of January to 31st of December. Do you understand? All right. So now we are creating a relationship. We said is here is date, here is timestamp. I will just drag it. Just carry one, drag, and put it on where this is the second one, timestamp. And then you have it. If you don't want to drag, you can click on manage relationship here, right? And maybe you want to just click on new relationship. You want to say from which table? From my date table. To which table? To Power BI Core 3. There was a common factor, dates. What was it here? Timestamp. Click on it, and then you just save. And then it creates the relationship for you. Or you can just drag and then drop on the other one, and then it creates a relationship for you. Whichever way it works. Now our relationship is done. We have relationship between these two tables. Now we are going to now building our report. This is what we want to replicate here, right? We want to replicate this. This soft skill response analysis, how can we bring it in? Who can tell me? How can we bring it in? Based on what we've discussed, how can we bring it in? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello? Am I still on the call?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
yes.
here. Someone,
What's
please
the
repeat the
question again,
question.
please?
So I'm saying that this is what we want to replicate. What we want to replicate, this is it, right? Now, I want to bring in this title, soft skill response analysis. How can I bring it in? We
Okay.
want to build this thing again. Now,
Get
how
data.
can we bring it in here?
From that text box.
What is this? Yes, it's from
Get
a
data.
text box. We did it the other time. Click on text box. And then let's give our own another name. We can say Power BI class first analysis. Then we can highlight it, right? We can highlight it. Let me highlight this. Let's do Control A. Bolding it, increase it. Let's put that 32, or let me increase it more to 40. We can change it to, let me use Kandara. Put it in the center. What else do you want to do? You can give it a color. Let's say I want to give it a, do you want to use purple or want to use deep blue? You can decide to give it a deep blue color. Whatever you want to do with it. Then when I'm done, I can expand it.
To interrupt, we have
I
just
can
3
expand it.
minutes more.
And then expand it. Oh wow. So we can expand it this way, right? If you click on style, you can decide to give it a background. Now instead our background is yellow, we can give it red background, or give it light blue background, or give it, let me do this one. Yeah. And let me make it a bit transparent. Right? Yeah. I'm giving it a background. And then we're making this transparent. Now we've done this. First one done. The second one, we have this card saying total response from social media. How can I get this total response? Now, this is called a card visual. So if I go to my visualization now, if I click on all of this, or you see it under gauge, card, and KPI, this is called a card visual. So this is a card visual. I want to bring two. This is a card visual. Let me show you another one. This is another one. This is called card. This one is card new. Like I said, Microsoft always updates, right? I'll show you the difference between the two of them. This is a card, and this is card new, right? In my card, total response, let me just drag in my total email address there. It will give me a email. No. Oh, no. I want something that would total. Okay, nothing is totaling here for me. So can we just do a count? So let me bring my formula bar. I'm clicking on new measure. I want to say total response or respondent is equals to count. I'm writing my formula. Count everybody in the email for me. Everybody in my file. So once I click on that, right, let me put comma. And let me click. Hope you guys can still see my screen. So if I drag this, my total respondent, and put it here, I can see my count, right? This is card. This is card new. And I'll show you the difference between the two. With my card, right, this is all I get, right? No matter whatever formatting I do, this is how it is. But with this, my total respondent, I can bring in images, right? We can come here and then say image, turn it on, bring in an image. Let's say I think I had some downloaded. Let me find image of people. I don't know what this people is, but let me just see. Okay, yeah, that's it. I have this icon downloaded already from the web to my laptop. So this is it, people, right? I have it, but with card, there is no image. There's no icon for image here. I can't bring in any image here. But with card new, you can bring in image. So depending on the one you want to use, right? You can decide. So I can take out this one. I want my card with image. That's the card new. So now I have this guy here. Yes?
It's 5:35.
Yes, please. All right, okay. Let me just quickly wrap up on this so that we can ask questions and then we can move on with that. Right? So now this thing is showing me 1K view. I want to see all the actual number. I just don't want to be seeing 1K. What does 1K means, right? What does 1K view? So I'll come to call out values and I'll scroll down my data label. Right, some of these things with time you actually learn how to find them, what to click on, and all of that. Is it data label I should be looking for? or hold on. Hold on. Yeah, so with time you actually get used to searching for all of this. Let me check the I'm trying to remember the name actually, so I can just type out the name. Hold on, please. Let me check. It should be on. Let me see. On card. Glow, shadow, border, alignment. No, it's not on that card. It's not on that images. It's not on the title. Let me see. Reference label. Yes, this is a reference label. But I want it. I don't want it to show this way. So it should be under callout values. Nope. Not here. Okay. This doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, yeah, it should be under here because this is affecting my 1K values. So let me, I don't want to wrap test. I want it to show me the actual value. I'm actually even looking for it. I can't even find it. Yeah. Voila. Okay. Let me leave that. I'll get that one later. I'll get that later. Coming. Let me bring in the normal card and let me apply the normal card so I can use that to trace it. Category label, call out value display. Should be under display. None. So let me come here. Call out values. Let me search for display. Or let me type display here. Okay. Let me search for display. Because I can't even find it here. And that's so if I want to check so where is display now so that we don't waste too much time on this. Okay, even aside that, let me add some other stuffs while I'm looking for that one. While I'm looking for display, because I can find it in this one. Right, this is called an accent bar, just to beautify this card more, right? And this card doesn't have that feature. But let me try format painter. Oops, it won't even format it because there are two different things entirely. Okay, so that's fine. If it doesn't format it, it's fine. The text here, I want to make it bolded. So let me click on this. And then let's have this bolded. Okay. Reference label. All right. I have the label here. And then I can make it color blue, right? Let me bolden it. Let me also make it the same Arial black, right? And let me increase the font. Okay. So I have this one here. Let me make it 20. Okay. So that this and this can match, right? Position above or below, whichever one works, right? So we can just have that for the first one, and then for the second one, these icons you are seeing there are just replicas of this, right? Showing in different ways. Then let's go to the next chart. Let's look at top 5 skills by country, right? So what do we do here? I can just bring another chart, right? A bar chart. Click on that, and then just drag and drop, bring in my country into it, and then bring in my total respondent into it. And then I have my chart. I have my chart for country. Can you see? And then I can now decide what I want to do here. I want to make it the same color as the one we've been using since. So I'll go to my bars, and then I'll make it blue, right? Turn that on. Turn off my data label so that I can see the count, right? Type 2, yes. Let me make it top 5 by country. Top 5 country. When we have, I can bolden it, put it as area black, change the font to blue, right? You learn how to do all of these things with time. And then that's that for my type 2. I can come to my data label and then do the same, right? Let me come to the value. Let me bolden it because this is too. We can't really see the data that is there. So let me increase the font, right? And then let me put it outside end. Okay, this is too big. So let's reduce a bit. Okay, right? So I guess this will work. And then come to my y-axis, increase this to bolden it up. Let's make it bolder. That's in Nigeria, UK, whatever, right? Now this is bold. But then I don't want to see everything. We are saying top 5, right? Like I said, I'll come to this, my filter here, and then I'll tell my filter, no, I don't want to see everything. Instead, just go on top N, top 5. Top 5 what? By respondent, I'll drag in my respondent again. We're only just playing around this. Then once I click on apply, you can only see, so, but this particular one has gone to hide. So let me, okay, yes, we have blank. Some countries are blank. So I guess that's why we have that blank, right? So that's why we have to go back again to our data, our Power Query. You see, why is it that some countries are blank, right? It's very, very important. But I'll just leave this for today's class. Then we can look at other things. What else do you want to look at that we've not kind of touched on here? I think let's do by month, and let's add a slicer, and then we are done, right? So let's see, response by month. Let me close all of this, collapse it. Yeah, this one is too big, so let me just reduce it. Yes, so I can have space beneath. So let's go, response by month. I'm bringing in, oh no. Okay, let me change this one to this. So I'll just come here, drag in my what? Date, right? And then I'll drag in my response, right? So I say, no, I want to see by month. So I'll cancel this year, quarter, and I'll only leave month. So you can see, if I scroll right, I can see my response by month. I can come here and then filter to say, I don't want to see blank. Remove the blank, right? Let me see if I can remove blank from here too. No, I can't, right? Okay. So what will I do here to change the color so that we maintain a uniformed color, right? So let me come to my this thing, come to data, turn on my data label, right? Can I format paint this too? Because there are two different visuals. Okay, format painter worked. Okay, so like I said, some things that you don't have to worry about. So once your format painter works for it, you are good to go. So you don't have to be doing it one after the other for everything. All right. Yeah. Turn this off. Turn off this. Yeah. Let me format paint this one too to turn off all those icons on the x-axis for me. All right, it has done. Format painter has worked. So now I have this, I have this, I have this. And I said the next one we want to create is moving this. A slicer to filter this particular report. So we have this slicer. We have this slicer here. Here I can decide to bring in, let me bring in the date. Like I said, the date that we are working on. If I drag, I only wrote one formula so far. If I drag and drop, or I just click on add date table, click on date, right? Yeah, so I have my date here, and then I can have, what else can I have? Maybe I can have, let's see, what else do we have here? We have month, we have country. Okay, so let's bring in country as another slicer. So I can bring in country. Great. So I have these two slicers here. All right, great. So let me create space for them. Let me create space so that this one can come down. Great. And then this one too can find a bit of space up here. Okay. So aligning is great. All right. So now I have my date and I have my country, right? So let me come here and do some, let me just format some things here. Make this bolder, increase the font so that we can see the values very clearly. Great. Yeah, I can even change it to color blue. Maybe I want to maintain that same blue that we've been working on, right? Yeah, I can add the slicer header, right? I can make this one too color blue that we've been working on, bolding it, and let me make it area black. Yes, I can leave it like that. What else can I do? Let me format paint my country to that same way. Okay, it worked for only the header, it didn't work for the other ones, which is great. Yeah. Selection, select all. Okay, then let me go to the values. Let's make this blue. Hope you are still tracking with me. Let's make this bold. And then yeah, so this country too, I don't want blank. So let me select all and then filter out the blank from this country. So let's select all. Yeah, I want to remove the blank from this particular place. So let me do it another way. Let me bring in country. Let me bring it to filter on this page. Country where it is not blank. Okay. Right. So we have our report. Let's do final touch up to them. There is something that we had. If we go back to the service, we had this green line here, right? So let's add something similar. It's actually a shape, right? I can come to insert, bring in a shape, I'm bringing in a rectangle, and then I'm putting it towards the right side here, the left side. Then I can Let me create space for it. Hold up. And then let me put this down. Right? And then I can change the color. So let me look for a way to change the color to the blue that we are using. Do I want to make it transparent? No. I just want to leave it like that. Right? Then I can now bring in my dates. You can see that it's opening my calendar for me. So I'll bring in my date here. Maybe I should take it up a bit. Right? I can add something called the border. Hold on. Let me just search. Yeah, visual border. Make it gray. Right? So I can just see where one is stopping so that my charts don't overlap on each other. Okay. I make it gray so that it's not visible. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm coming here to turning on the visual border and I'm making it gray, fainted gray. Okay. And then I'm putting in this my card visual here. But before then, see that this one now they've overlapped each other. So let me make this smaller. Let me also turn on the visual border and make it gray. So I can see where one visual is starting and where the other one is ending. Let me click out. No, this is black and not gray. So let's make this gray. Yeah. So I can spread out. Okay, so I can see this one faintly. This one too, I can turn it on and then make this word gray. And then I can see, okay, yes. You have a bit of this here. And then let me expand this one to take up the remaining space. And now we have our first report built in Power BI. Yeah, so now we have our first report built in Power BI, right? So yeah, I can see, oh, I want to see data from, let's say from January 2021, or maybe I'll just see from January to March. So I'll go here and then click, go to the calendar and select to March 31st. What happens? It has changed. From 1K, we are seeing 866 response, and then we are seeing the country. We are seeing the month. You can see January, February, March, because that was what we selected. If I come here and say, no, I want to see from April to June, let me select the date ends in June 30th, and the start date is what? April. So let's go here and then let's select calendar 1st of April. What happened? When you look down, you can see April, May, June. And then this has also changed. Total response has also changed. Do you understand? I want to see from April to June, but based for I want to see just for 3 countries: Canada, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa. And I have my data. So based on what you are selecting, it changes. Do you understand? Then you have that interactivity. So whatever I've done here now, you cannot see it except I give you my laptop. If I wanted to have access, I'll come here and I'll publish it. Once I publish it, and I can give you the link and then the email and add a password for you to access this. That is when you can access it. Do you understand? But whatever I do here, only me can have access to what is being done on Power BI desktop. Any question, please? Any question? Let me save this because I've not saved this morning. Please don't be like me. As you are working, please save, because these things they work like Excel. Anything can happen and then you lose the entire file. Any question, please? Any question? Let me see this on my
Go back
desktop.
to that other one, the first one that we're supposed to build.
Okay. This one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that happen behind the scene here. Well, let me. I think I built this particular report. Let me. Can you hear me? Is there any question? Hello, is there any? I saw a question somewhere from OB. Please hold on. If your Excel sheet has more than one tab and you need to load 2 or 3, not all of them, into the data model, how does it work? So when you are bringing it into Power BI, that's where you select that. So there are actually two ways, right? No, if you are bringing Excel into Power BI, right, you cannot select the column names. If you know the meaning of column names, right? Let me go back to help you understand better. When it comes to column names, this is what I'm talking about. This time stamp, month, full name, email address. You cannot select the one you want to bring in. It will only tell you the name of the file. You say, oh, this file is saved as so and so. So when you bring in the file into Power Query, you cannot say that, okay, this I want these 3 columns. The other ones you can remove it. I actually showed you that when we were on Power Query. We removed about 2 columns that we don't need. So when you bring it, let's say Power Query is where you do your cleaning, right? When you bring it in, so whatever you are bringing, first bring them in inside Power BI Query first. When you get to the Power Query, then you can now remove. Do you understand? In Power Query. Yeah. Then when you now remove it, then you now load into Power BI. Then when you load into Power BI, that's when you can now do your modeling. And so whatever you don't need, please ensure it is not, whatever you don't need, please ensure it is not on Power BI. Do you understand? Make sure you take it out in Power Query and then you don't bring it into Power BI. So this class is ending very soon. I'm very sure that it's been a long and enjoyable class if you ask me. I was about showing you, yes, I know, this is the report I built. So I have like, if I go to my data model, I think what I only have here, the soft skill and then the date table. Those are the 2 data connections that I have. See, so my own date table here is wider. I have the date, the year, the month number. Don't worry about all of these formulas. You start writing your own too, right? And all of that. So I use this to control whatever is happening behind the scene here. Let me also open one report for you to show you that as you get skilled in Power BI, Power BI can get very, 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 very nicely interesting and unnicely interesting. So let me open one of the reports I work for real time for my organization with you. And data modeling is not why you're joining 1 or 2 this thing. You can have like 10 data coming in, and then you have to create a relationship between all 10. So let me just open this report for you. Can you see my screen? Hey, wait, network. Oh.
Network. Your network is very bad.
Hello, Francisca. You said something now.
I said your network is very bad.
No, it's my MiFi.
Oh,
My
okay.
MiFi is just misbehaving.
Thank God it started now, Sha.
All right, can you guys hear me now? I'm back. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's
Yeah.
unmute and talk now, Shu. All right. So this is a report I built for my organization,
Yes,
right?
I can hear you.
I just want to show you the endpoint, the data modeling part. Like once you get your data modeling wrong, trust me, every that you can see the spider web moving up and down. Get ready. This is how massive it can escalate really quickly, and things are Spider-Maning. You are doing some Spider-Man stuff here, right? So this is how massive it can really escalate. So one table journey to another journey to another journey to another. I need to really understand how it works. We'll talk about all of them in class. You understand about cardinality, one-to-one, many-to-one, one to many, many to many, how to use them, what to use them for. We will go deeper into those ones as we go in class. Yeah. So this is one of the reports I manage for an organization, and that's how that is going. So based on what we built today, is there any question? Any question? So this is where we are. Any question? John, Chisom, Obi, Iyanu. Any question, please?
I just want to double check.
So I will save this. Once you download Power BI, I will send this to the group, right? Once you download Power BI on a laptop, just download this file and open it up. It will open on Power BI for you automatically, so you'll be able to see it. That's the only way I can share with you, since you're not on our Power BI service provision, right? So I'll send this as a document to the group, and then you can see this, and then you can download it and then just interact with it, just play around it, right? Based on all that we've learned in class today. Your 30-minute learning will start tomorrow. And then I guess by the time we come back next week, Sunday, you will have something to say about Power BI. So I don't know. I think Francisca, can you help us with a quiz link? Let's do the quiz very quickly.
Before we go on to the quiz,
And let's get started. I think I actually saw the quiz link. It was dropped. I don't know if we have access to it now.
Yeah.
So that we can start. We can just quickly take the quiz and then we can go.
Hello.
Hello, Francisca. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. I think Chisom.
Hello, can you hear me?
Something. I can hear you.
Great.
Ray, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you help me with the quiz link? I know I saw it.
Yes, I'm also looking for it. Chisom, you have a question.
Yes, like my question is that place we do the modeling, is it on the table view or the model view?
The model view.
Yeah, model view. All right, thanks.
The quiz link was sent on this chat box. I cannot
All right,
see
don't
it
worry.
again because I was
Don't worry. You can just reach out to Esther and then get the quiz link from her. Yeah, Iyanu, your hand is
okay,
raised.
no problem.
So let's wrap up.
The link is here.
Okay.
Yes, it is. It's on the chat box, but I can't view it because I went to Excel class. I went to the other class. So when I joined, my chat box refreshed. So I can't view the link.
Yeah, you can send the link, Chisom, if you have the link.
Okay. I think it took me straight to.
So that we can all take the quiz and then we can go for today. Iyanu, your hand was raised. If you have any question, Iyanu, please. All right. Thank you very much, Obi. Yes.
All right. Let me just copy and paste it.
I think OB already did that.
Okay, all right, fine.
Yeah. So please let's click on the quiz link and let's have our quiz.
Okay. Just let us know when to start.
You can start because of time. You can just start.
Hmm? We are waiting for the host to start.
Oh, you're waiting for the host to start. Okay, don't worry. I put it in the group already. They'll reschedule the quiz and then they'll send it. They'll like take that limitation off so that you can start at your own time. I think Francisca will reach out to the mentor in charge and then she'll take that limitation off so that you can start at your own pace. All right, I think we have to end this class here. If there's no question, I guess we will meet in the group. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thank you.